Raymond Wells. I'm Alumni Letter Winners Coordinator and Annual Giving for the Athletics Program. My background in athletics, primarily I was a student athlete here for U of A from 2000 to 2003. I'm also a U of A graduate. Left here, played sports professionally, played professional football for 3 years before getting into coaching. And I coached in high school before going back to U of A. I had a unique experience that I transferred from junior college. So I spent 2 years in junior college before I came to U of A and transferred. It's an adjustment. It's a huge adjustment. The time commitment it takes to be a D1 athlete was something that I really didn't get exposed to until I got here. You don't get that in junior college. But I loved my experience. Everything about U of A, like coming here to visit, compared to some of the other schools that I visited, it was huge. Just the environment of McKale, with all our student athletes being housed in one building, pretty much was a one-stop shop here in McKale. It was awesome. Like I really felt like I was a part of something that was unique at the time when I was looking for a place to transfer to. I felt like U of A was definitely a more unique place. I think time was the biggest struggle for me. Coming from junior college, it was a little more laid back. Like I went to class every day, but there was a lot less structure. So coming here, like your day is really structured as a student athlete. You don't have a lot of free time. I would have, weights at 6:30. My first class was at 8:30. Have class up until 12. You might have a chance to go grab a bite to eat in the student union, and then I'd have tutoring for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then football meeting started, football practice, training table afterwards, tutoring afterwards, and then you go home. So I'd leave my house at 6 in the morning or my apartment, and then I would get home at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then I got to study. I got to get ready I got to do be a student on top of all that, and so much of your day is taken up by athletics that you don't realize it until it's like, okay, I'm not a regular student because I'm not like that student that gets to get up, go to class for 4 hours, and then go home, take a nap, or go to the library for a little bit. So that was definitely the biggest struggle, was just time management and feeling like I didn't have enough time in the day to do everything. I think now, with like the 20-hour limit for student athletes, I think that's definitely changed, where you can only be required to spend or mandated to spend so much time, I think 20 hours a week on your sport, and that's including your competition. So I think that's definitely going in the right direction to be able to give student athletes an opportunity to be students and as well as athletes and kind of balance their time out. So if you really think about it, if you spend 20 hours on athletics, you're probably going to have to spend just as much time, if not more, on your academics, whether it's going to class or studying or things like that. So I think it's a good balance. I would say it's become a lot more popular, but it's definitely become now like an arms race and a facilities deal where, it's who has the best facilities and who can spend the most money in terms of getting, top level recruits to be successful. I feel like that's more how how college athletics is going towards. It's like, it's what do you have versus who do you have. Where I feel like good athletic programs that have solid coaches, solid administration, they can do just as well, if not exceed what you can get from someone just throwing a bunch of money into their facilities to make it look nice. If you don't have the substance, I feel like you're still going to be lacking. I go back and forth because I was a student athlete and I played professional, and you do get a royalty check every year from, like, say Madden or something like that. So I feel like student athletes, at some point you are somewhat taken advantage of, and you are, I feel like you should be entitled to some type of compensation where, those video games produce X amount of dollars, and, the reward for you is that you are entitled to an education. And I say entitled to because it's not guaranteed that your education is going to help you succeed, whereas the sales from a video game puts money in someone's pocket that's going to help them succeed in life, or at least they're going to have an opportunity to with the money they have in hand. And I feel like student athletes sometimes, with that recent video games, they were somewhat exploited. You have no way for a student athlete to make money outside of what they do as a student athlete, in terms of working opportunities to make extra money, because it's so regulated by the NCAA that you have a situation where people are making money based off of what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's one thing for your institution who provides everything and every service for you to generate money for the department, but that money goes right back into student athletes, versus an outside company like an EA Sports or something where they're just making a video game to make money to sell to people, to sell to the masses. So that's where I think the difference is where, people can say this university is doing the same thing, but the universities pour that money back into college athletics, into their department. So that's where I think I see the difference is they're just making money. Your athletics department, your university is trying to make money to put it back in to better your experience, to make sure you have necessary amenities and tools to get you to be a successful person once you leave U of A. I have mixed emotions about it, just from things that I've read and kind of see. In some ways, I feel like they could limit themselves in what they're doing by trying to unionize their department. Because it's going to be set this, set that. It will be more regulated, and there's disadvantage. To me, it's a disadvantage because if you're a union, there's going to be a set cost for this or a set cost for that. They might have to pay taxes and different things like that you don't have to worry about as a regular student athlete. But I also think by them doing that, it kind of pushed the envelope a little bit for other institutions, the NCAA, to take a look at the current model they have and see that there probably was change needed to be made. I'm not sure how successful that will be for Northwestern, but I feel like they also were somewhat of a trailblazer to push the envelope to allow change to happen throughout the NCAA and with all the other institutions.